We're going to be going through the Amazon Brand Registry application. This is for brands that are selling on Amazon, wanting to protect their intellectual property on Amazon, or they want to be able to use or give the brand registry benefits to their seller account or their distributor seller accounts. This application is particularly tricky and you have to pay attention to a lot of key details in order to get approved. It's really common that brands are rejected for just small discrepancies. I highly suggest watching this entire video before filling it out so that you don't get rejected. If you do get rejected, it makes the process much longer and more difficult than it would be if you just got it right the first time. I've filled out this application dozens if not hundreds of times, so I know exactly what causes problems and I'll be pointing those things out to you so you don't make the mistakes that others do. In this video, we're going to walk through each section of the brand registry application, the exact mistakes that get brands rejected on their first try, and what your options are if you don't currently meet all the requirements. Plus, the verification step most people don't expect. Keep in mind that this is not for something called brand name approval, which is something separate from brand registry. Brand name approval is a much smaller and easier application and only requires you being able to take pictures of the product that you are trying to sell and show the brand name on the product or packaging. It allows you to be able to create listings for products that have never been listed on Amazon before, as long as they use that brand name. Now, brand registry gets you access to not only create listings under that brand name, but also a bunch of other benefits, such as the Amazon Vine Reviewer program, the 10% referral fee discount for new sellers, and a bunch of other benefits too. I have another video that goes into the details of brand registry and what it actually does and doesn't do, which I'll link to in the description. Okay, we're at the brand registry platform. You're going to visit this by going to brandregistry.amazon.com, and you're going to want to log in using the same email that is the owner email on your seller account. That process is going to just make things a bit easier for you. Once you log in, you'll have your password and everything. You'll do the two-step verification. You'll come right here and you're going to click enroll a brand. Then it brings you here. You're going to click enroll your brand. You're going to type in your brand name. Now this part is really important that we get correct. So the big thing here is you're going to want to check your trademark information and have it be absolutely correct. If it is even slightly different than what you put in here, it's going to throw everything off. Now you can look up any trademark by just typing in trademark search USPTO. Of course, this is in the United States. If you're in a different country, you'd have to look up the government agency for that country. But we'll just click on here, trademark search. It's going to bring you to this, and we can type in the name of our trademark. Now mine is 5-Star Commerce, so I'm going to type that in. I'm going to find it. Now make sure it's the one owned by you. Here's ours, but you can see a lot of the time there's close duplicates that are owned by different companies, right? So go ahead and click on that. You have to understand how this website works. Now, you can get this information also from your trademark documents, but it's better just to really look at it here. If you are on this website and you have a serial number, then your trademark is far enough in the process that you can get brand registered. So that's great. The big thing here is you need to make sure this registration type says principal, not supplemental. And then they have a little picture of the text here. That capitalization is what you need to use. So you can see here that this says 5-Star Commerce and it's in all caps. So when I go in and I go to this trademark application, I'm going to have to put it in all capital letters too. Now, if the first letter of each word was capitalized, I'd need to make the first letter of each word capitalized in here. It has to match exactly. Any slight difference and it will get rejected. Now keep this website open in another tab because we're going to refer back to it later. Okay, so then we go here. You can see it wants us to upload the brand logo. The brand logo needs to say the trademarked term on it. So we're going to go and upload it and then boom, that's looking good. Okay, so then you select the trademark office associated with your brand. If you're in the United States, it's going to be United States Patent and Trademark Office. You can see there's a lot of different options for different countries. It would be the office where your trademark is filed. Now you can see here, it needs the registration or serial number. So we're gonna go back to the USPTO website and you can see we could use either one here. Now, if you just barely filed your trademark within the last year or so, then you'll probably only have a serial number, which is fine. If it's all the way through the process and it says issued and active, then you'll probably have a registration number. Either one is totally fine to use. Click it in here, we say verify. It's just saying that it will share your personal information with the attorney on record for the trademark, which is fine. I'll explain a little bit more about that in a little bit. Now, categories. So you can just pick whatever categories you want. I'll just pick apparel, but obviously you just pick whichever products you sell. And by the way, that doesn't really mean anything. It's just kind of more of a survey. It's not like if you don't pick a category, you can't sell products under it. It's not like that at all. Now, if you already have some products that have been listed on Amazon before, you can put in their ASINs here. So the ASIN is just Amazon's ID number for every product. You could put them in here. Notice that it's optional. Usually by the time you're doing this, you might not even have products on Amazon yet, and that's totally fine. You could put it in your website. That's optional, of course, but I'll go ahead and put it in here. And then if you sell on other e-commerce platforms, you can say that as well. And that might be like if you sell on Walmart.com or TikTok Shop. Then it's gonna want product images. Now this part's really important. These product images just need to be real, regular photos, not professional photos, nothing that's been touched up at all or made to look nice. You literally just wanna get your product and take a picture of it. Now I'm gonna show you what types of photos we're talking about here. I've got several of them here. So I'm gonna zoom in so you can see, but you can see the product I'm using on this is a hat. You can see the 5-Star Commerce logo on it. I've got all the different sides. Looks like I'm missing the front view, but that's okay because I do have it here. Now, occasionally you'll get it where they think that you've put an AI logo on the product. They want to make sure it's really a physical product that's really there. So a little trick is you put your hand there and have the hand casting a shadow on the hat, on the product. In this case, it's a hat. And that's one of the things Amazon looks at to make sure they are real photos. But you can see I haven't taken the background out. I just set these on a table and took a picture of them. If it was smaller, I would actually just hold the product in my hand. That helps. That's the type of photos you want. They just want to make sure that they are real products that really exist. And of course, the brand name has to match exactly. Okay, so on this page, it's asking us, are you a seller, a vendor, or neither? Now, most of the time you're gonna say seller, and then if you have that, then it'll detect any seller accounts that are linked to your login. Remember, I had to use the same login that the Amazon seller account's under, and then you can select the seller account. And what that'll do is just when you get approved, it'll automatically give the brand registry benefits from this brand registry account to that seller account as well, because they are different platforms. Now, if it's not there, you can just hit I don't see my selling account, and you're just gonna have to add the selling the benefits in a later step after this, and that's okay. If you're a vendor, that's if you use Vendor Central, you would just select that, and you could also do neither. Neither would be like if you were a brand and you were just trying to get brand registered, but you're not selling it yourself. There's just other people selling your products and you wanna monitor that and control it. But again, most of the time you're probably gonna hit seller. So let's hit next. Now this asks for manufacturer and distribution information. So do you sell to distributors? You could hit yes or no. If you do yes, it's gonna ask if your distributors sell on Amazon. And then it's also gonna ask you what countries your products are distributed to. In my case, I'll just hit no. This one is optional, so I'm just gonna leave it blank. Do you license your trademarks? Most of the time this is gonna be no. It's typically only very large brands that are very famous that do licenses, but you could imagine like, let's say, a company that makes Marvel stuffed animals, right? It's probably not Marvel actually manufacturing the product, but they might have a licensing agreement where they can make the products and then they give Marvel like a percentage of the revenue for each unit they sell. If there's that kind of arrangements, you can say yes, but most of the time that's gonna be no. And then you're gonna hit submit. In this case, they only asked for the basic questions, which seems to be most common, but sometimes they will ask for additional information. I've got these little slides that I share with clients. I'm gonna use them for demonstration purposes here. Sometimes they might ask for an invoice. So you'd have to have an invoice and it has to meet all of Amazon's requirements. I have a whole nother video on what Amazon wants to see in invoices. It's kind of really particular and there's a lot to it. This slide kind of explains it a little bit. I'll link to that video in the description. If they ask for an invoice, you're gonna have to go prepare that and have it ready. The other thing is sometimes they might ask for a filing receipt or a trademark certificate. A filing receipt looks like this. This is something that the USPTO office would give to you. Now, if you have an attorney who's filing the trademark for you, they typically will get it and they'll typically forward it on to you. Occasionally they don't do that. You could ask them for it, but it looks like this. And then here's the trademark certificate. Now you don't usually get this until it's all the way through the process to be registered. But if you do have it, you can see it has the registration number here, has the trademark. That's a document you can upload as well. And it needs to be the regular PDF. Now, sometimes they will ask for a manufacturing agreement and they'll ask you, do you use a contract manufacturer or do you manufacture your product yourself? If it does ask for a manufacturing agreement, I have a template that I give to our clients that we use to make this agreement. Basically, you have all of the manufacturer's information, all of your information, And then you have a little agreement saying, hey, we're this brand and we have a contract with this manufacturer and they manufacture the products, and then you both sign it. And then you would upload that to Amazon. Now, if you manufacture your product in-house and they ask for an invoice, you need to use an invoice for your raw materials instead of your manufacturer. Okay, so there we have it. You would hit submit. Then you would wait a few days. Now they will get back to you if they have some kind of issue with your application, then they're gonna email you back and say you've been rejected. And that unfortunately is a big bummer because you're gonna have to go and figure out what was wrong and redo that or get them whatever information they had. I'll probably make a video on about what to do when your brand registry application has been rejected. I do have a video on what to do if your brand registry application has been rejected because of your photos. So I'll link to that in the description as well. But if you get accepted, then they're typically gonna email you back and say, great, you've been approved. And they'll say, we have emailed the attorney on record for this trademark and we've given them a verification code. You need to give that to us, right? So what they do is they go to this trademark file right here. And if you scroll down, you have attorney information. Now this shows you the attorney and their email that was used to help file the trademark. So they go onto the USPTO website here, they email that email address, and they give them an email that looks just like this. So it says, hey, you're listed as a contact for the registered trademark for 5-Star Commerce in this case. Please confirm the information below and give the verification code. So the lawyer has to respond to the email and say, yes, this information's correct. If Amazon gives them any different directions, they need to follow those directions. And then they need to give you the verification code. Then you log back into Amazon Brand Registry and you open a case or respond to their email or respond to their case rather, and you would give them that verification code. And just to show you, if you go to support and then brand support case log, this is a place where you might have a request in here and you can hit view and you can respond to them and give them that verification code. Once you've given that to them, it usually takes them maybe 2 or 3 business days, and then they'll get back to you saying, hey, you've been approved. Your brand registry benefits should start working within 72 hours. Now, if you already selected your seller account in that application, it'll probably connect that automatically. If you haven't, then you'll probably have to go in and add a user on your brand registry account that's associated with that seller account. Then you'll have to go into manage selling roles and you'll have to hit connect to selling account, select it here, and then you'll hit continue, and then it'll show any selling accounts that you're an admin of. You would click on it and then do grant brand registry benefits. Now, let's say you don't have a trademark yet. Now, you can't get brand registered without a trademark, but you've got a few different options. You could go through the process to just get brand name approval. However, if you're a brand and you're starting to sell on Amazon, it usually makes sense to pay the money to get a trademark so that you can get the brand registry benefits. The 10% referral fee discount on your first $50,000 in sales usually will more than pay for the cost of getting the trademark, not to mention the other benefits. I have a trademark attorney that I personally like and I've referred clients to. Email me at hello@5starcommerce.com if you'd like me to connect you with her so that you can get a cost estimate. It takes about a month or 2 in order to get through the process far enough to get brand registered. Sometimes people will think they have to go through the full 18-month trademark process, and that is not true. You also don't need to go through Amazon's IP Accelerator program either. Those things used to be true, but they are not anymore. Another issue could be, what if you don't have your brand name on your product or your packaging? Well, there is a workaround so that you can get it specifically for this application. I have a video that shows you a way that you can use Etsy to order a custom vinyl decal of your logo so that you can put it on one unit of your packaging, take pictures of it, and get approved. Most brands that are new to selling on Amazon qualify for over $30,000 in new seller incentives, whether that's ad credits or discounts on Amazon fees, and many brands don't find out about these until it's too late. I made a full video breaking down exactly what these incentives are and how to make sure you actually get them. Click right here to watch that video next.